Hello, this is Samie and I welcome you all to eAcademe from the platform of CA Educationist. One of the popular encryption methods to securely send the confidential data over the network is public key cryptography, also known as asymmetric encryption. It makes use of a set of two keys known as public and private keys. The public key enables the sender to encode the confidential data or file into a form that is not understandable to a casual reader other than the intended recipient. This encoded or encrypted data then travels to the recipient, who uses the private key to decrypt the data back into a readable form. Before explaining how this actually works, let me elaborate what are the public and private keys in easy terms. Each public key has a corresponding private key. In other words, both public key and its corresponding private key work together to encode and decode a message respectively. For a couple of persons to securely communicate on the network, they must generate their respective pairs of public-private keys from an algorithm on their computer system. A pair of public key and its corresponding private key can be thought of as two functions of a key to a normal door. If we take the example of a normal door, the key that is used to lock the door is the only key that unlocks it. In other words, public key serves the locking function, or encryption in our case, and the corresponding private key serves as the unlocking function, or decryption in our case. It means if a public key is used to encrypt or lock a message, only its corresponding private key can decrypt or unlock it. A pair has to work together. Now, if the sender wishes to send an encrypted message to a certain recipient on a network, he must use the public key of the recipient to encrypt the message if he wants that no one else should be able to read the message except the one having the corresponding private key, that is, the intended recipient. The recipient, on receiving it, will decrypt it using the private key associated with the public key that was used by the sender to encrypt it. You can share your public key with anyone whoever wants to send you an encrypted message on a network, as he will need your public key to encrypt the message. However, you must not share your private key with anyone. Otherwise, the data or message that was intended for you would become readable by the one having your private key. Since each pair of public-private keys is mathematically connected, there is no way of knowing private key linked with any public key unless it is revealed to anyone. Let us now summarize this through an example. Mr. A has a confidential message that he wants to send to Mr. B using public key cryptography. For this, first, Mr. B has to generate his pair of public-private keys from an algorithm on his computer system. He will then share his public key with Mr. A. Mr. A will use Mr. B's public key to encrypt the message. This encrypted message will reach Mr. B. He will use his own corresponding private key to decrypt the message and read it. Likewise, if Mr. B has to send an encrypted message to Mr. A, he will use Mr. A's public key to encrypt it. And Mr. A will afterwards use his own private key to decrypt the message. Thank you for watching the video. For more videos, keep watching the series of eAcademe from the platform of CA Educationist by Samie. For any queries, you may WhatsApp or email at the given contact details.